Thank you for all the super chats so far. I really appreciate it. Moving on from that, big story today from, why do I forget his name? Fabrice Hawkins. That £50 million is what will be demanded. But Arsenal, Spurs, and Man United are monitoring Brian Mbeumo. And there is the potential, if the money is met, for him to move in this window. Now, I would say all of those teams need an attacker. Man United and Spurs were looking at Kolo Muani. He has gone to Juve. How good a signing could this be for each of those three clubs? Arsenal would deem right now with the bookmakers to be the favourites in this. Could it happen? How good a player is he? And where do you think he'll end up? I'll go to Mo first on this one.
Sorry, can you just mention the three clubs again? Because I didn't hear that part. Arsenal and
Man United, Tottenham, and Arsenal.
Okay, it's a no-brainer. Brian Mbeumo should choose Arsenal without a shadow of a doubt. He should not choose Man United or Tottenham Hotspur without a shadow of a doubt. Arsenal are in a better place right now. Okay, not even. It's not even a comparable place between Tottenham, Man United, and Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal are challenging for titles. The team is in a good place. And I think if he's just choose, he has to choose Arsenal without a shadow of a doubt. He's going to work with better players. He's going to work under better manager at the current moment, which is Mikel Arteta. I think it's a no-brainer. However, is Brian Mbeumo going to be the striker for Arsenal or the right winger for Saka? If Arsenal pull this off and convince Brian Mbeumo to come in and be as someone who plays on the left or the right, I think actually that would be a fantastic signing for Arsenal in this January transfer window. He can help them win the Premier League this season. He's a fantastic player. But I still think that Arsenal need a prolific striker. And when I mean a prolific striker, an actual number 9. Brian Mbeumo is not a number 9. He comes from the right side all the time at Brentford. If Arsenal are getting Mbeumo and a number 9, I would say they go back to be a team that is, we're going to say here, Liverpool should be a little bit afraid of. But there is no brainer, to be honest, that he should join Arsenal. If he's to choose between Man United and Spurs and Arsenal, there is no question here. It needs to happen now. Arsenal need 2 signings up top. They need a winger, which can be Brian Mbeumo, and they need a striker. They can go get Vlahovic on loan. They can go trigger Osimhen release clause. They can go try to negotiate with some other player and land them now because they need signing to save their season now. In case Kai Havertz continue with this form. It's seriously. I genuinely think. And also the problem, I think the Arsenal should go also for Semenyo, but that's for another day. I said that yesterday. But Brian Mbeumo to Arsenal is fantastic. But will Brentford let go of him in this January transfer window?
No, they will not.
So you're crashing it right away.
No, but they won't because here's the thing. Let's start with Mbeumo. Yes, Brentford are a selling club. Yes, the player can force his way out. But the reason why I don't think they eventually sell him in January is they're going to ask for a lot of money more. Meaning, you want Mbeumo, Habibi? Okay, you can have him. Yalla, bring 80 million. Who's paying 80 million?
The reports are 50 million only, Akhi.
Yeah, okay. You believe that shit? They ain't going to say yes to 50. How many goals does Mbeumo have? Doesn't he have like already 10 Premier League goals or something?
Yes, he does have double digits.
Yeah, he has double-digit goals. They ain't going to let go of him for cheap. 13 actually. Oh yeah, they're definitely not gonna let go of him for 15 million.
13, I think what I read 13 goals this season. It might
13,
do you actually think that Mbeumo suits Arsenal? Okay, let me put the context for you out. He plays in a team that averaged less than 50% position, which Arsenal averaged way more. Arsenal more of a position-based team. He plays in a 2-striker formation in Brentford. Do you think Arsenal need Mbeumo or they need a number 9 and a winger like a Semenyo or someone like that?
I think they need both, mate. I think they need both, mate, right now. They need goal scorers, they need difference makers up top. But once again, bro, these clubs need these players. And I know they're willing to sell. I know this. I'm not going to sit up here and be disingenuous. Oh, are they going to sell? No, of course, they're willing to sell. I know they're selling clubs. I know these players can force themselves out, but it's about the asking price. Because in January, you have to pay more unless the player wants out, like Kvaradona. He wanted out of Napoli, you got him on a cheap. That's the thing that, disagreement with the manager.
So 2 things on that. You are right. It's going to be 50. They're talking about Brentford want 50 million for him. That's Fabrice Hawkins said that these 3 clubs are monitoring him. They know that it's difficult, but what Brentford would ask for is 50 million. And I know a lot of people don't like the journalist talk around when they say things like monitoring. We all know what that means, though, is they're looking at the options. They're talking to agents, intermediaries. for me, the one thing on the side of all three clubs looking at him is that his contract expires in 2026. It states as an option to extend it for a year, but it still means he's in the last 2 years of his contract by the end of this season. And I feel as soon as some bigger clubs, no disrespect, Brentford come in, Tottenham are definitely one of them. Man United certainly are, and Arsenal with where they sit currently right now as well. Of course, their history. If his head gets turned, he probably isn't going to sign a new deal with them. So therefore, you get into a realm of I think they can add a bit more money this January, but as you hit the summer and then the following January and then the following summer, you're starting to lose that value each and every single time. So I don't think it would be an exorbitant amount of money to sign him. It's whether or not the clubs see value in that. And I like the player. I hope Man United get this done. I'd love to get him. But the one fear I have is that he plays in a team and he does well on counterattacks. And Man United right now, that might suit us. Like my team right now.
Yes.
No, I agree. But I'm also thinking about what we're trying to become and dominating the ball more. And we will still play. Let's be honest. You'll see it tomorrow night against Southampton. We're still going to play the vast majority of our games against teams that sit in low blocks, even now. Most teams are not going to open up and attack us, especially at Old Trafford. So my one worry about him, and that's going to all three clubs, is the volume of teams that sit back against them, especially Arsenal and especially Tottenham with the way they play. I'm just concerned. That's my only concern is, does he have the room to operate? Does he have the room to work in? And that's why I think clubs are thinking £50 million. If he was doing this if he was doing this at Tottenham, I think everybody would say, well, we can see him doing it for a big team, a team that people sit back against and they defend low because of the attack. They'd probably say, well worth the 50. I think there's that element of, what if he goes to a club like Arsenal and then in tight spaces, flops, doesn't score? I always had that over Jamie Vardy. I thought Jamie Vardy's excellent. I always felt that the worst thing Vardy could have done is joined a team that everybody sits back against and there's no room. We saw for England. When he played for England, there was no room to run into, less of a player. And that's my only concern about the Mbeumo deal. I just think, will he have the space to operate? So £50 million seems a good price for the goals, but can he do it in a team where the approach is different? I'm
£50 million.
Can I want to ask Terry a question before you come in. I want to ask Terry a question. Terry, if you're in Mbeumo now and you're between Man United, Arsenal, and Spurs, which club would you advise him to join?
This is the shittest question.
No, I just out of curiosity.
This is the shittest question. The dumbest question.
Out of curiosity, I'm asking a Man United fan. I'm not asking.
No, because the answer is very simple. I'll tell you Terry's answer and everyone's correct answer.
Yeah, let him answer. Are you going to dictate what he says?
Stop it. خلاص. Stop asking these
Terry,
questions.
do you agree? I want Terry to nod. Terry agrees. Let him nod. No, I'm not going to bet. I just want Terry.
Anything you want, Terry agrees.
Let him talk. Don't dictate what he says, Terry.
Go ahead, Terry. Don't lie. You know you agree.
He's not holding you hostage, Terry. This is your channel.
No, I'm not holding him hostage, but that's the only correct opinion you brought.
Let him talk.
Terry, do not lie. You're a man of honor. Say this.
What do you think? He's not gonna. Don't pressure the guy. Let him talk.
No, but it's reality. Obviously, you would rather join Arsenal now.
It is your opinion, you fraud.
United in third place.
Ya Habibi, this is your opinion. Ya Habibi, this is your opinion. Let the man answer for himself.
Yalla, let Terry answer. Yalla, go ahead, Terry.
Man United, of course, like 100%. Why would he not pick the biggest team in the world?
You're a fraud, and you know you're joking.
Listen, on a real level, but this is the problem with it, right? In my head, right? No, because it's multi-layered, right? So, of course, I'm biased because I view my club in a specific way. I think Man United have got a tremendous chance of getting him for who we are, who our current manager is, what we're trying to build. Arsenal, a better team than us right now. Yes, we beat them at the weekend. Beautiful, amazing. They're a better team than us right now. But interestingly, you two have sat here for an hour talking about why they've got to sack their manager, their Arteta FC, and they're going to keep him. Based on both of your logic, that the club just cares about keeping Arteta, they're scared to take risks. Your logic dictates you should pick Man United because you're talking like Arsenal going backwards because they're sticking with the wrong manager. So as much as you two are going to sit here and put it on me to say there's no way you can put Man United first, you guys have just said that Arsenal should be sacking their manager. They're not, and therefore that's horrendous. So why should he join a club that you think's being run horrendously?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because there's levels to this. Arsenal should be disappointed that they aren't winning the league. You're 13th. And Spurs, there's no need for us to explain why they're in third place in that conversation because they're Tottenham Hotspur. That alone is enough explanation. You get me? So let's not even go there. But when it comes to Arsenal, listen, there's levels to this. This is reality. If you tell me should a player rather join Liverpool or Man City or Arsenal, I'd say Man City is probably the most attractive club in England right now, in my opinion. I'd probably put us second, and third would probably be Arsenal. So that's the honest thing. But when it comes to this conversation, the reason why this guy is a fraud, this Mo guy, Mo, you are a fraud. You ask these questions like there are these deep questions that's so difficult. Bro, Man United are the second biggest club in England. Okay? They're a massive institution. But in this current moment in time, they're going through a rough time. This doesn't mean that they can't attract players. Of course, they can attract Mbeumo. But Mbeumo has the two same exact contracts on a stable, Arsenal and Man United. One club is in the Champions League. One club's doing really well. Obviously, he's more going to be tending more to join Arsenal. That's not a disrespect. That's just reality. Now, when it comes to Mbeumo, look, Mbeumo will make a difference to anyone that he joins. 13 goals in the Premier League in 19 games or in 20 games playing for Brentford is no easy feat because Brentford are not this attacking, sexy football team anyway. You know, like you have to struggle to score a goal if you're playing for Brentford because they're more defensive based, they're more like compact, they're more like stuff like this. You know what I mean? So for me, I think whoever gets Mbeumo is going to make a massive difference this season. But I will say I think Spurs need him the least.
No, I understand that. And do you know what I would say on a real level to answer it seriously? Obviously, I said about because it's who we are to wind people up. Arsenal were attractive. I'm not going to say they're not. However, the predominant position that he plays is right wing. And I understand that Saka's injured right now, but Saka will be back. He can play, and he has played in the central striker role and in the support striker role. Arsenal don't use a support striker. So he may get opportunities in the centre forward area. What I would be pitching into him is that Man United have, look, we're looking like we might sell Garnacho. We're looking like Rashford is going to leave. Ahmad's done very, very well, but he can play in either one of those 10 roles or in the right wing back position. I feel like Man United have more of an opening and an opportunity for him to have regular first team football than Arsenal do right now. Unless Arsenal view him as a centre forward. But then what I'd also be dripping into his ear is that Arsenal will link with signing an out-and-out number 9 either this January or in the summer. So therefore, you're not going to be the number 9 and Saka's the right-hand side attacker. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. If he says, you know what? I fancy being the backup at Arsenal. I'll still play 30, 40 games in a season. I'll still start a number of matches. I'll still come on and be impactful. That makes sense. And I wouldn't be gutted because I know where my club is right now. However, I think if you're a good salesperson, if you understand the player, you learn what motivates them. We probably have more of an opening in our first team than Arsenal do right now. And that could play a significant part in convincing a player to join us over Arsenal. So that would be a real answer to the question. But I'll be honest with you, if all three go in for him proper, he picks either Arsenal or Man United over Tottenham. And that's not a dig. That's just, I couldn't imagine why you wouldn't, unless both Man United and Arsenal say, yeah, you're going to be a squad player for us. And again, if Spurs say you're a first teamer, he might pick them over us because first team football for a lot of players is more important as an example. But yeah, I like him at the club. The only caveat I'm throwing out there that worries me is how is he going to cope against teams that sit back? That's my only real concern. Some super chats here. It says, I'd say if Arteta gets his striker in the summer and then fails to win from there, I'd say let's talk Arteta in this moment. In this moment, nope.
Kevin, I bet everything I have you didn't say this last summer.
Maybe. Let us know, Tevin. He suits Newcastle more than all the... Listen, Newcastle on that right-hand side with Gordon on the other, Isak up front. It would be a brilliant signing for Newcastle.
Hell, that would be a scary front.
It would be a brilliant signing for Newcastle. You're
Isak
right.
and Mbeumo Gordon. Yeah, just give it up.
Any chance Arteta would try Saka on the left wing? Maybe. And the two where I say
He
maybe,
could stay there.
but,
He could.
but even I think he's left-footed in Mbeumo. I still want to see a club try. If Arsenal were to go and sign an out-and-out 9, I'd love to see a team we thought we were going to see Arteta try this with Martinelli, and he just stopped doing it. But putting a right-footed player on the right and a left-footed player on the left, and just seeing them trying to cut balls back to a number 9, I just want to see someone try it. I really do. This here, Arteta has had his issues, but you guys enjoy hate, is what.
Yes, an Inter Milan fan and a Liverpool fan.
And don't hate Arteta. And actually, Terry said something wrong that I think they should sack Arteta now. No, the conversation happened at the end of the season, not today. If they sack Arteta today, they're actually take it even worse now.
Sorry.
So no.
I apologize for misrepresenting you, Mo. Sorry, sir.
It's all right. It's all right.
Arteta himself won the FA Cup when Emery was sacked mid-season. Been a gunner for 29 years, and now I have to back time wasters and dark arts. Listen, Ricky, I understand where you're coming from, and I don't think Arsenal. I think Arsenal are in a position where sacking a manager could yield trophies at any point, because a new voice comes in, rejuvenates the squad, very good squad. When I was referring to the Chelsea fan talking earlier, I don't think Chelsea are in a position to do that right now. When you've got a good structure, when you've built a very good team, absolutely you can do that. However, for continuity, I wouldn't have that as sort of like top of the priority list. If we're ever struggling in the season, let's just sack a manager and then hope we win something and just throw someone in. So you've got to get the balance right. But I do hear you. Listen, if Arteta was sacked tomorrow and you brought in Xabi Alonso, I don't think Arsenal are going backwards. If you go and get a very good manager after Arteta, I don't think you're going backwards. But again, I don't care if you do or you don't. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I hear you, Ricky. I really do.